Hi everyone, and welcome to today's second tutorial on Libby by Overdrive. Today we're going to be talking about exploring the collection and searching using filters and preferences to help us find titles that we want, and getting a better look at book details so that we can understand what we're looking at when we're looking at a title and trying to understand if it's something that we want to read or listen to. This is the second video in a three-part series. So the first video before this one is about setting up Libby on a device. And then the video after this is going to be about your bookshelf. So checking out returning books as well as placing holds and then creating wish lists for titles you might want to read, or if you would like to record favorite books that you have read. Some people like to keep track with lists, and we'll go over that in a separate video. But today we're really going to focus on exploring the collection. So if you have not had a chance to set up Libby on a device and you'd like some help with that, I'd suggest pausing this video, going to watch the first one, getting that done, and then you can explore the collection along with me and get a feel for how Libby works. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to focus on the left side of the menu here. You'll see at the bottom of the app or browser page for me that you have a menu bar that is separated with two icons on each side of the little hamburger menu. And the icon that is highlighted in green right now is the little library institution. And this is where you can think about your physical library, where you would browse the collection and get a sense for, what's available to you and what you may think you might want to read. The icon next to that is a magnifying glass, which that's going to come in handy when we're looking for specific books or specific authors that we're interested in reading or listening to. So that will be the second part of this tutorial. So let's talk a little bit about what you can find on the home page. So right at the top of it, you'll see these really popular filter tags. And this is typically what we find patrons are interested in looking at when they come onto Libby. And so they're right here at the top of the page to make it really easy to begin browsing the collection. So you'll see that people are interested in seeing what's just been added to the collection, items that have been really popular and circulating a lot. There is a fun one called random, which means it just pulls a bunch of randomized titles that are available in our collection for you to preview. Then there is one called Available Now. So say you were on and you wanted to find something immediately that you could check out so that you could begin listening to it or reading it on your device. This is a really great function for beginning a search right there. And then subjects. So subjects would be broken down by age category or by genre, so romance, mystery, thriller, westerns, literary fic, anything you can really think of. You can get a sense of what's available and then pick a subject based on what mood you're in or what what book you're in the mood to read. All right. Now, the other thing that's really neat about Libby is that through the Green Mountain Library Consortium or the Listen Up Vermont program, there are special collections that are purchased for Overdrive or for Libby. And so you'll see as you scroll throughout the page that there are some local collections that are highlighted here on the homepage. So here's one for the Samara Fund, and you can see right here that all of the images are links to book details so that you could read descriptions, things like that. So every one of these images of a book cover is a clickable link that you can get more information for the book. As well as there's a little link over here to look at every single title that is part of this collection. There are some guides that are placed here, and these are put together by the Overdrive and Libby librarians. And then here's one for the Green Mountain Book Award, another one for the Golden Dome Award as well. So if you are really interested in reading any of the curated collections that are specific to our state, If you really enjoy reading those titles for children's awards and stuff, you'll see that they're already curated here for you on the homepage, which is really, really nice. Here's one called Our Struggle for, I'm assuming it's Humanity. And this one is provided by Vermont Humanities. So they have all of the titles right here. Okay. And it just kind of keeps going and populating different themes and curated collections that you might be interested in reading. So it's really a great, using the home page or the institutional icon is a great way to start browsing the collection to kind of get a sense of what might be available and what you might be interested in reading. Now let's talk about searching specifically for books or authors. And then after that, we'll talk about using filters and preferences to help narrow down our search to find things, to find specific titles, okay? So anytime that you have a title that you're thinking of or an author that you're thinking of, you can automatically go to the magnifying glass icon, and this is going to bring up a search bar for you, okay? So say I was interested in looking at what was available on our on Libby that is by John Green. We could type that in, and then it's going to populate a search by relevance, and it's going to show us everything that they have available that's written by John Green. So there that is. Okay. And you can even do searches that are more broad. So say you wanted to look based on a genre, you could type in something like thrillers, and then it's going to populate books that are tagged as thrillers. So now you're looking at anything that's in our collection that's tagged as a thriller. You can do the same for contemporary romance or young adult, anything of that nature, you can do that as well. So now that we're in this more broad search, we might decide that, yeah, we want to look and see all the thrillers that are available to us. And we've typed this in using the search bar function, but we still want to narrow this down a little bit more. Say that we want to only look at books that are available to us right now because we want to check this out. There are ways that we can go ahead and do that so that we can make our search just a little bit more easier for us. So if we go ahead and we click on refine, we can go ahead and you'll see there's a bunch of different options. So things like format, so that would be if you were interested in it being an ebook versus an audiobook. There is subject. We wouldn't use this one since we're looking by subject anyways. There is language. If you were looking for something not in English, you could look and see what is available in the collection. Audience is for age level, so juvenile, young adult, adult, mature adult. Supports is dependent upon device. I don't tend to use that one, but it is there. But here is availability, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to click on this, and we're going to say that we want everything that's available now. And now that we've done that, everything that's populating in this search is available now. So these are all titles that we could check out immediately. Okay? So there's that. Now say we were, let's go back to John Green. Say we were in an author and we wanted to look, say this was an author with a prolific amount of books, but we knew that he'd written some YA and we wanted to only look at his stuff that is written for a young adult audience. We could go ahead and we could click on young adult, and we'll see that it's actually filtered out titles that were written by John Green that were actually intended for adults. So his newest one that came out this summer was written for, it's considered adult nonfiction, so that's actually not here. So refine is a really great way that when you're doing broader searches to sort of filter down so that you can find things that you're specifically looking for. Preferences has a lot of the same things that you see over in refine, so you really can use them interchangeably. But you'll notice that in preferences, you don't see the subject filter. So there are certain things that are available in one that aren't available in the other. So if you're not seeing it in preferences, make sure you look in refine as well. But they are, for the most part, pretty interchangeable. Now let's talk really quick about books and book details so that you understand what information you're looking at as you're doing your searches. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this back to just be general content. Okay, now we have everything. So the first thing that I want to point out is knowing how to tell the difference between what's an ebook and what's an audiobook. So you'll see when you're looking on the page that every title has the author, the title of the book, there is some cover art there, right? And anything that's an audiobook is going to have earbuds right there, and it's going to say the length of time, the approximate length of time that audiobook is. So for this one, for the Anthropocene Reviewed, this one is 10 hours long, okay? And if we scroll down, here's one for Turtles all the way down. There are the earbuds, and this audiobook is 7 hours long, okay? So that's how you tell the difference between an ebook and an audiobook on the app. There is some other pertinent information that you will be interested in as well. You can see right here that to the right-hand side, to the right-hand side of this, that you'll see that this says place hold. And then if you looked at another title, like here's The Fault in Our Stars, this one says borrow. And we can also see in the far right-hand corner at the top that here's one with a calendar that has a clock with it. And then here's one with a blank calendar with a check sign. So if you see the calendar with a clock, that means that title is currently checked out and you would need to place a hold on it. And this one means that you could borrow it. But you can also see that when you look at the first line on any title, it'll tell you that you need to place a hold or you can borrow. The second item that you see in this quick view is that you can play or read a sample. So if you're not sure if it's something that you want to borrow, you can read the sample or play a sample, see if you like the narrator, see if you enjoy the writing style before you actually check it out. So that is a nice feature that some people really like. And then tag is something that we'll talk about in the next video. So now really quickly, I'd just like to go ahead and show you what it looks like to hop into book detail, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say that we want to look at The Fault in Our Stars. Now we're going to go ahead and click on the cover image of that. And then this is going to bring up the book detail for us. So we still see the author, the title, the book, the cover image of the book, and then we have the book description. So if we weren't sure about this book and we wanted to learn more about it, see if it was something we wanted to read, we could do that. And then those action tags are right below the cover image, so borrow, read, sample, and tag. And then you see how this is cataloged or categorized in the Libby app. So you could actually click on these and they would take you to searches of books that are all under this particular category, okay? And as we scroll farther down, you'll see that you get more specific material, the format, the author, things like that, when it was published, how many copies there are, and some people really, or some people are looking for that information. So as you scroll down, it is something that you can find. And then finally, the other nice thing that Libby does is that they kind of create a little curated list at the bottom of a title of other titles that would be in this list that you are looking at, okay? Sometimes they'll have next books in a series if it's a book in a series, or other items that you might find interesting. So that is book detail, all right? So there's really a lot of great ways to go ahead and explore what's available to you in Libby. Whether it's through exploring the homepage and getting a feel for what's available in the collection, or by using that magnifying glass to begin your own search and then using those preferences and the refined features to help sort of narrow down what you're interested in reading, as well as utilizing those book details so that you can get more information about what book you're trying to check out. So that's everything that I have on the search function today and exploring the collection. Our next video will be on the right side of the Libby menu. We'll be talking about your bookshelf, your timeline, and we'll be talking about placing holds, sending books to your Amazon account if you have a Kindle device and you want to connect your Amazon account to this, all sorts of good things. So make sure you check out that video as well. And if you have any questions at all, make sure to give the library a call or send us an email, and we would be happy to help you troubleshoot any problems that you run into while using Libby. And of course, I hope that you enjoy a great book. Happy reading, everyone.